Hi, welcome back to the part two of this discussion on workplace dissatisfaction. Okay, so in this second part of the video, we're going to talk about stages of work dissatisfaction, and you can relate that to any aspect of your life, be it your relationship, be it your career, be it your work environment, be it anything you want to do. Okay, we can relate it. You'll be able to relate this point. The first stage of dissatisfaction is when your job or your office environment or whatever it is you do, maybe your business, when it doesn't give you any excitement. So you're just there, you're just complacent. I mean, whatever. You're just there. There's no excitement. You wake up in the morning and you're just there. Your job is just, I mean, when that job becomes a means to an end, you just want to make money out of it. We can relate this to people who do handwork. There are some people who do handwork and they are so brilliant at what they do. If you check it out, if you notice the reason behind their brilliance is because of not just their skills, but because of the passion they put into what they do. Yeah, you should be skilled. Skills are important. But for you to be great, for you to do so well, then you have to be passionate about what you do. This is, like I said, it cuts across all board, whether in your job, in your relationship, in your business. If you have a small business and you're not passionate about it, trust me, your customers are going to complain. If you work for an employer and you've been given a particular job description and you don't like what you do, your employer would complain because you will not be able to achieve the high rate of performance that is required from you. So once you get a new job or you find yourself in a new environment and you realize that you are not excited about it, that is a red flag. You need to check it. Okay? And then secondly, the second thing you do, or the second stage of dissatisfaction, the second thing that happens when you're kind of dissatisfied is when you start having a tiny feeling of unhappiness in your role. So, like I said, when I was a marketer, back a long time ago, that was my first job. And as someone in the sales department, you're required to go out, right? And then once it's time to go out, oh my God, I get so, like, I don't want to go out. I don't want to go meet people and start marketing my products and all that because of what you have. Some places what you have to go through, trying to get people. So you have to smile, you have to be friendly. Even when you're not in the mood to be friendly at that particular time, you have to be friendly as a marketer. So I was beginning to feel a bit of unhappiness after a while. After the excitement, for me, stage one didn't work for me because I was excited when I first started, but I guess that was because it was my first job. Okay, so your first job, of course, you will be excited, but within 3-4 months, you know how you feel about that job. Okay, so now you start noticing a tiny bit of dissatisfaction. You start feeling unhappy. You start giving excuses. Oh, today you're sick. Tomorrow you're in the hospital. Next tomorrow, traffic. You're held up in traffic. You start noticing some level of unhappiness. You start giving little excuses just to avoid going to that office or performing that task. Okay. Now the third stage, after you've gone through the stage of not being excited, into you start feeling a bit unhappy. The next stage you get into is the point where you become complacent. So anything goes, you don't care. At that particular time, you no longer care. You don't even want to. You just become complacent. You dress anyhow to work, or you really don't care. You just become, whatever. You're not looking to do better. You're not looking to look for different ways of accomplishing your goal. You're not looking to be a performer in that role anymore. You're just there, like, at the end of the month, I'm going to get paid. And then once you get to that stage where all you do is wait for paycheck at the end of the month, so you sit down and you just wait for paycheck. I'm just waiting to get paid. I just want to get paid. The next stage and the final stage is you actually get to that point where you hate your job. Yeah, that's the point where you take days off sick. You don't care if you're paid for that period or not. Or even if you're at work, even if you come to work, you just don't contribute anything to that environment. And then it starts making you feel miserable. That's when you start getting miserable. You start having issues. You know, you have issues at work, you get miserable, you get frustrated. That's your line manager, your supervisor. You get frustrated at home because you come to a point where that hatred you have for your job is now affecting your mental health. Okay, so when it gets to that last stage, it can be that bad. It can actually affect your mental health, and once your mental health is affected, your relationship will be affected. You're going to be having issues with everybody around you, because you're just going to, your body would automatically want to pour out frustration on innocent people. So we don't want to get to that level, trust me. Now we're going to explain practical solutions. We're going to talk about what to do. You don't have to get to the final level where your mental health is affected because you didn't take note of the first level. That's why I'm taking my time to talk about this, because you need to be alert. Okay, in everything we do, we need to be alert in order to have a stable life, in order to have what they call work-life balance. In anything you do, you have to be alert. Okay, so if you're in that position where you didn't know where you started from, so we talked about 4 stages. Okay, and you're not aware when you were in the stage 1, you're not aware in stage 2, you're not aware in stage 3, you're already in stage 4. Like, this is your final stage, you hate it, and then everybody's affected. Your relationship is affected, your family, your friends, your colleagues, everybody. You just seem to pour out frustration on everybody. Even when you're driving, there's you practice what they call road rage. You need to check it out. That's the final stage, and that's the part you should avoid. Okay, before you get to that point, you should know what to do. So let's talk about the solutions. Okay, I'm going to talk about what to do at every stage. Now, if you're in stage 1, where you're not excited, so you just got this job and you're not excited and all that, identify what makes you unhappy. Why are you not excited about this job? Okay, so I just got a job. I've been here for 3 months and I noticed I'm really not excited about this. There's nothing exciting to me. So could it be as a result of, am I bored performing that task? Is it something that I know so well and there seems to be no new challenges? It's something that is, just repetitive. Every day I come to work and I do the same thing and it really doesn't tax me. It doesn't challenge me in any way. I'm not learning new things. So those are the things that you could also look into. I'm not learning new things, or this company is not, providing new the right facilities for me to be able to carry out my job effectively. So you need to think, what exactly is making me unhappy in this job? Once you've been able to identify, get a pen, get a pad, write it down. Why am I unhappy? Pick your points out of what you think is making you unhappy in the job. And then on another sheet of paper, write down your goals. What are your career goals? What do you want to achieve? Career goals and your goals in general. Okay, so if your career goals is your long-term goals for your career is, in the next 5-6 years, I want to become a fashion designer, and you're currently working for an engineering firm. You work as maybe supply chain officer or whatever it is in a firm that has nothing to do with fashion designing. Now, that automatically tells you you're off your goal, right? That is telling you that you're not aligning whatever you're doing at this particular time with your future goals. So is it that you're letting go of your future goals for the gain of today, or what exactly is your plan? So you need to check it out. Okay, so for example, you want to be an HR professional. In the next 5 years, you want to be a director, HR director, and you're working as a nurse. Like a nurse, you work with patients. You don't even work in the admin department. You work with patients. You are a full-time nurse. Okay, being a nurse, what's the relationship between being a nurse and being an HR person? There's no relationship. For you to cross over into that line of human resources, there are certain things you need to do. And where you currently are they giving you, are they going to give you opportunities to switch over? Are they going to give you opportunities to learn new things? Or are you stuck to your job description, your current job task of being a nurse, taking care of patients? So you need to align your present tasks with your goals and make sure that they are related. Okay, so if they are not related, we're going to talk about that. If they are related and whatever you're being unhappy about, it's something that has to do with your work environment, the working culture, that can be changed. If that's company is a company that values employee feedback, if they value their employees, you can always make a change. You can send a memo. You can bring up suggestion that will help to make a change in that organization. So for me, except the organization is an organization where they don't value feedback. I mean, if you work with an employer that wouldn't even listen to your feedback, then that's a different ball game altogether. It just means that it's time to look for another employer. Okay, now if you've been able to identify this and you realize that, okay, so my work actually aligns with what I want to do in the future, so I'm in the right place, but I don't like the working culture here, I don't like this environment, I don't like the way we work, then you don't bottle it up. It is advisable not to bottle up your feeling, because if you feel that employees are not being treated nicely and you bottle up your feelings, it's still not going to help you. You're still going to have that feeling of dissatisfaction, that feeling of unhappiness in you. So what do? You need to look for the right person to talk to. Okay, I always tell my friends that I'm the kind of person that I say it as it is. I don't bottle up my feelings, because I know how unhealthy it gets when you're unhappy and you can't say it. So when you're unhappy and you cannot say why you're unhappy, or you can't discuss it and you just bottle the whole thing up, oh my god, it gets worse. It's best you speak out. So in this case, it is advisable to choose the right person you're going to speak to. You don't want to be seen as a gossip in the office. You don't want to be seen as someone who complains about everything. No, that's not what we're talking about. Okay, look for the right person to talk to. Okay, it could be your friend, it could be someone outside of that working environment. So when you're talking, what you're doing is you're healing. You're talking about how you feel, and you just feel lighter when you talk, rather than cramp everything up in your mind. So talk about it. Do not go on your social media, please, to rant and talk about your organization and how they're unprofessional, their ethics are, and all that. No, you don't need any of those. Just look for someone who is outside that organization and speak to. And if you have a counselor at your place of work, you can speak to your counselor. If your supervisor or your manager is someone that you can speak to, you can go to your supervisor or manager and air your views, and just talk about it. It helps. Okay, that's point number 3 on how to deal with dissatisfaction. If it has to do with your remuneration, please, you go to the right place and you talk about it. Oh, I feel I'm being underpaid for the level of tax. Or you send a mail in a polite way. I feel I'm being underpaid for the level of job or the level of tax I'm asked to do XYZ. And if you feel you're in an organization where you can't send such a mail, it will only get you into trouble, then speak to a friend. Okay, speak to a friend who would brighten your mood whenever you're in that particular position. But be careful. You don't want to be seen as someone who complains. You don't want to be seen as someone who nags. You don't want to be seen as someone who is so unhappy with himself. Okay, that's not the front we want to put up with, or that's not the front we want to present to people. Now, you of course, once you realize you don't want to be in that organization, if it has to do with your organization, of course the next stage for you is to get a new job. It means you have to concentrate on getting a new job. You have to start job searching. Okay, you have to start networking again. This time around, you don't just network. I notice the problem a lot of people have is, I notice when they leave a particular job, they just go to a worse place. I mean, so I want to leave this point A. I just want to leave this point A. like I don't mind where I'm going to, I know I want to leave this. No, if you're leaving point A, you should know where you're going to. There's no point jumping from what we Nigerians popularly say is fry pan to fire. There's no point. So if you want to leave XYZ Concept Limited, then ensure that you're going to the right place. Ensure that you're going to the company that values you, that will value you, that will compensate you in the proper manner. Ensure that you're going to a role, you're going to perform a task that you will do well at. Okay, not just moving. Oh, I just want to move from this point, and then you move to another point. You're not being focused. You need to channel your strengths into the right thing this time around. Okay, now after which, once you've been able to identify or make up your mind that okay, you want to leave, and this is a task you now want to perform, you ask yourself, am I going to perform better in a new task? So for example, I'm an HR person, and I suddenly realized, actually I don't want to be an HR person anymore. I think I can do accounting. Okay, maybe I go do some accounting courses so that I can suddenly become an accountant. I have to ask myself a whole lot of questions. Okay, wanting to be an accountant, how is it going to affect me? Is it something I'm going to be productive at? Is it something that will make me happy? I have to ask myself that question. So there's no point me moving from my career paths of human resources and moving into a different task that I will be more miserable in. There's really no point for that. So you need to be sure of what you want, and then you want to ask yourself a question like, okay, so this dissatisfaction, could it be as a result of external forces? I know some people who they're okay with their office, they're okay with their employer, they're okay with their remuneration, they're okay with their compensation, but everything is perfect, but they have issues with the clients. So the mere fact that they have issues with external forces, that makes them miserable, and that makes them dislike that job. So if there were no external forces, oh my god, that would be a perfect place for them to be. But they have to deal with external forces, and that's where the problem lies. So if you find yourself in a position where the problems you're having, the unhappiness, the dissatisfaction you're deriving from working in that organization, working in that particular role, is based on third party, external forces, that's a different ball game altogether. You need to reflect on it. Without these external forces, without communicating with these external forces, can I also perform on my job? I don't think so, because of course if the external forces are affecting you, it means they are really important to the achievement of your goal. They are really important to your performance. So if you're working in the company and the problem you're having is external forces, then you would have to discuss with your manager. Okay, try as much as possible to have that discussion, an honest discussion with your manager about how you feel. Okay, and if you cannot change it, if the manager is aware, so for example, you have to do something very unethical just to perform on your job, and you try to inform your employer, this is what I'm going through, I'm not happy with this, and they tell you, oh, you have to do it, there's nothing we can do, and this is making you miserable. Of course, what do you think will happen? It means you have to go. It's not the right place for you to be, because you can't keep being miserable. Yeah, you really can't keep being miserable. Okay, and then you just have to go. And how do you do that? You start networking, work on your resume, start looking for other opportunities, start networking, other opportunities that you would fit perfectly in the right organization, like I said before, not just moving. So start doing all these things. Move. It's time to move. Okay, so what can you do to have a good work life? I'm just going to give you a very simple solution to have a good work life. Please, when you're trying to get a job, or when we all want to grow in our career, you need to check your personality out. So some of us don't even know what our personality is all about. That's another topic for another day, where I'm going to talk about personalities as relate to different tasks. So if you're performing a particular job and you have a different kind of personality, then of course, that's a wrong match. Okay, so that's another topic for another day. So you need to be able to match your personality with your job. Basically, you need to be able to separate what you can do and what you should do. Yes, you need to be able to separate it. We can do a whole lot of things. As humans, we are equipped to do different kinds of things. But some of us don't even know what we should do. Some of us don't know where our strength lies. Some of us believe we can do everything. I don't believe there's jack of all trade. I believe there is master of one. If you become a master of one trade, it's better than being a jack of all trade. Okay? So you should be able to separate what you should do and what you can do. It's as simple as that. Okay? And then when we rely on our skills, oh, I'm skilled at this particular thing, but we don't rely on our passion for that particular role, it becomes a problem. So yeah, you should be skilled. We all go to school to get skilled. We all have our work experience. We all do trainings because we want to, tune up our skills. But we shouldn't rely on our skills alone. We should choose something that we know that we want to do. Okay? We should choose something that does not conform, or that does not, make us complacent to the work environment. You do something that you're passionate about, something that oh my God, I wake up every morning and I'm going to perform this task and I'm happy doing this. Not something you have to struggle to do. Okay? Now, if we're adding more to this, we would always say that, there's really no way we can separate the right problems from the wrong ones, We have all been in the position whereby we made the wrong career choice. We've all been in the position whereby we've done the wrong thing. In one of my videos, I'm going to give you a story. Okay? So the workplace is a different part of our lives that you can't avoid challenges. You can't avoid mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. But the ability to pick yourselves up when you make this mistake is what matters. You pick yourself up and you start. Even if it means starting from the scratch, you start again and build your life the way you want your life to be. Okay? That is my simple, very simple solution to this. The next job you're going to get, please ensure it matches your personality. My next video will be on personality. Okay? I'm going to talk about personality. So the next job you're going to get, ensure it's something you really want to do. It's something that matches your person. Okay? Do not try to fit your legs into someone else's shoes. Okay? So, I'm going to end this video now. Okay? I think I've elaborated on this. If the issues you're having at work are not so serious, if they are general problems, you know what to do. If they are personal problems, you know what to do. I've talked about that. Okay? So, if they are general problems, it means you're having issues with third parties. That's a general problem. Most likely everybody in that organization have issues with third parties, so that's a general problem. You know what to do. And if there are specific problems, if they are personal to you, then I've suggested what you need to do in this video as well. Okay, so I'm gonna end this video now. It's been so nice talking to you guys. I hope you've been able to pick something from my video today. Like I said, I just want to contribute. I want to make lives easier for people. In my line of career, I've seen how people struggle to make a living. It's not easy out there. So any little help we can offer ourselves, we will offer ourselves. So let me know what you think about this. Please comment. Put your comment in the comment section. Ask your questions. Give your suggestion. If you feel there's something I haven't added to this video, please, you're welcome. Please suggest. Bring up your suggestion. If you have any topic you think we need to talk about that would help, please put it in the comment section. I would appreciate it. It's been nice talking to you. Thank you for tuning into my channel. Thank you for listening to me today. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please support me by subscribing to this channel. Have a blessed day. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.